I want to hold you over through this break. You said something in the last segment I can't ignore, and that's Skinwalker Ranch. Now, I mean, we're going way off. Robert Newcomb is my guest. Now, okay, anybody who knows about Skinwalker Ranch, if you don't, this is one of the wildest stories, conspiracy theories, phenomenon ever that you can look into, and it's mostly kind of the UFO, alien, extraterrestrial community that is really interested in that and kind of experts on that. And there have been documentaries come out, really just crazy stuff. I had no idea Robert had anything to do with that. So I just got to ask him, what was your role? What do you know about Skinwalker Ranch? What was your role in, I guess, investigating it, looking into it? What do you know about it?
Yeah, so, excuse me. So I've spent several years just out of interest, aside from my normal duties, in my job, researching UAPs, researching the technology that could justify what we see in our skies. When it comes to Skinwalker Ranch, it was more of a friend connection. But Brandon Fugel, Eric Bard, they were cordial and gracious enough to allow me to consult or have conversations with Eric Bard, who is the lead scientist there. But most of my experience over the last 4 years investigating UAPs, when it comes to Skinwalker Ranch by itself is an anomaly to me. It's hard to explain the evidence that comes out of there. I've often explained it as an environmental anomaly, whether it's coming from outside of the or off the Earth, from a cosmic perspective, or it's being generated from the Earth, kind of anomaly. And I just, when I've researched all the UAP evidence and everything that happened, from Tic Tac to Gimbal, Skinwalker Ranch always sticks out to me. And so my involvement there with Eric Bard was a series of consultations or conversations about what technology to deploy in order to drive out these anomalies, and especially when it comes to AI or computer vision, or camera systems or other networked or grid type sensors, to track the location of an anomaly, track via AI, right? Track the visual identification of an anomaly. So I don't work there. It's a consultation effort. In the past, I have. So it's very limited, but for sure, 100%. Like I said previously, Skinwalker Ranch stands out to me above any other kind of research that I've done on the matter.
Well, and people that haven't heard of it are out there in suspense. What is this? What are you talking about? Well, there's kind of like this, let's say, cultural mystery about it, and maybe extraterrestrial beings and just some of the kind of cultural history there. And it kind of ties into like certain areas, like you talk about Area 51, where you're just out in the vast desert, and there's just like this local color of, yeah, we see aliens all the time, or spaceships, or there's weird things that go on in the desert, or even cave drawings, whatever. So there's that aspect of it. But then, and this is the one that really grabs my attention, because you can go watch all kinds of different alien documentaries, and sometimes for fun, I'll go down those rabbit holes, more just for fun, and people that just like to study extraterrestrials or UFOs and different anomalies. But like you said, the one that makes Skinwalker Ranch so different is there's so much actual on-the-ground evidence and dealing with livestock and stuff that happens that is just completely unexplainable, yet easily documented.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's dozens of examples, like you said, evidence that comes to mind. I think what they're doing at Skinwalker Ranch, and the effort or money that Brandon Fugel is putting forward to discover this, or to drive out this anomalous behavior, will eventually lead to new discoveries, in science. As our technology advances, AI comes on board. A lot of these sensors get more, they can drive out more detail in the data. and especially as LQMs, large quantitative models, come out, which are really a physics or a science-based AI model, and they do what's called a recursive research, which these LQMs, large quantitative models, can do is they can do their own research and drive out solutions that previously have been burdened by the science community.
What U.S. government involvement is there at Skinwalker Ranch? Because there's all these other historical sites where if citizens, want to just show up and start filming, or some sites where people might show up with a shovel. I mean, there'll be people that show up out of the woods immediately, and you're like, whoa, what the hell? How much government involvement is there at Skinwalker Ranch? Do they have tight ropes on that, or is it like kind of a free-for-all?
I'm not familiar with any three-letter agencies that are involved in Skinwalker Ranch currently. I know historically they have been, I forgot the individual's name, but he owned it previously to Fugel. I'm sure there's no doubt in my mind, however, that some three-letter agency still has a pulse on what's being discovered there. I'm sure in back channels, which I'm not familiar with, there could be some dialogue there between those three-letter agencies and Skinwalker Ranch. That I do not know, though.
Well, they love to be around not just human interest stories, but when there's actual, genuine historical stuff going on, or genuine aerial phenomenon stuff going on, whether that's just they don't want you to know what's really going on or they're interested for themselves, they always seem to find their way, right? They always seem to find their way on there, if not permanently entrenched there to protect people from trying to find the truth. So that's an amazing story that you're involved there. Truly, folks, just if you want one of the more curious UFO, alien, extraterrestrial anomaly phenomenon stories, Skinwalker Ranch is certainly one you can dig into and just say, what in the hell is that? And there's so much actual on-the-ground evidence. It's not just people with blurry photos or stories without any evidence. It's like you're there on the ground, and they got a lot of things that they've seen and can show you. All right, Robert Newcomb, I really appreciate your time today. DefendUT.com is his website. Thank you for joining us.
All right, brother. Good to meet you.
You too.